Hello, Magic community, and welcome to Magic is Gathering, and welcome to CK Studios. It's a little different. We are streaming from home right now as we all adjust our life to the pandemic that's currently sweeping across the globe and impacting a lot of people. And that's what this show is about. Magic is Gathering is about talking and exploring some of those stories, providing a place where we can share those stories and talk about what's going on and support each other through this. My name is Kevin Harland. I'm the creative producer for Card Kingdom. I work with a wonderfully talented team creating a lot of graphics, assets, and streams and events that you watch. The Chalice, Gauntlet, all the fun stuff that we do for you, our community. Last week, our team was talking a lot about what was going on in the world right now, and we wanted to talk a little bit more about the positive things that are coming out of this, but also provide a place where we can explore some of the stories that are going on of all the people that are really impacted and hurt by what's going on, whether that's a loss of work or being sick and having to recover from that. So we decided to create the show, Magic is Gathering. Magic is gathering together to support each other. Magic is literally gathering together around a table to play Magic. And so it's a really difficult time for us all as we adjust to the world as we know it right now, where we can't see each other across the table. We can't share a game, a board game, a Magic game. Can't play D&D in person. So it's tough, and none of us really know what's coming up tomorrow. So we wanted to create this show as a way to support each other and as a way to explore those stories and then focus on the positive, because Magic is a gathering, and I know that this community is going to outlast this beyond a doubt. We have a wonderful guest that I'll introduce in just a couple minutes here. But before we do, I wanted to talk a little bit about Card Kingdom. For those of you who are our customers, may have received a message a little earlier today or seen those messages on social media. Unfortunately, Card Kingdom is shutting down our warehouse temporarily while we allow time, one, to follow the mandate that Governor Inslee in Washington State has released to give some space, stay at home, so that we can all try to flatten the curve and help each other heal. But also in light of our respect for our own employees' healths, their safety, the safety of their families, and our community at large. We want to be a responsible business, and so it was not an easy decision to make this. Luckily, I didn't have to make that decision, but I don't envy my bosses who had to make that call. And to be honest, I've been working for Card Kingdom almost 8 years now, and there are a lot of people in this company that feel like family to me, and so it's really tough right now to see them all struggling as we all shift into this different phase where we need to give that space. However, that being said, I'm so proud of Card Kingdom as a family and as a company. Although we are having to reduce our hours and put some people on standby, Card Kingdom has made the choice to cover all premiums of health insurance for all of our employees during this period, so that we can ensure that they can all remain safe and healthy. And when this is all past us, we can come back together. We can gather around the campfire. We can celebrate games and stories and each other and the hobbies that we love. Okay, so before I start ugly crying, I am going to introduce a couple wonderful guests that have agreed to come on the show today, friends of ours. Good Luck High Five, Maria Bartholdi and Meghan Wolff. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having
Hi.
us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And in the vein of crying, yesterday I was out for a walk and like someone drove past me, like a friend that I know drove past in their car, and
Yeah.
they like shouted hello, and I shouted hello back, and like hearing a real human's voice, not in the digital space, almost made me cry.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I've waved to several strangers from my window. That's not a normal occurrence.
No.
yeah. I went out and chatted with my neighbors across the street today, but we all stayed in the street like 18 feet apart from each other, just kind of shouting at each other. But it was nice. It felt good to just be able to like have that communal space where you can actually talk to each other and have some, actual physical presence around each other.
Yeah, it's
In the
so true.
meantime, though, we're going to explore this space, this digital space, so that we can still see each other's faces. Just earlier today, Card Kingdom, we released a video on how to play Paper Magic in a digital space. There's a lot of videos out there like that, too. So I really encourage people check those videos out. Keep playing with your paper cards because they're so cool. In the meantime, Arena is free. Not Arena. Brawl is free in Arena right now, so you're able to go into the Brawl Guild Hall and still keep that magic alive in the meantime. So, Megan and Maria, tell me a little bit about yourself and share with the group here about what you do.
Oh boy. Who wants to go first, Megan?
Go for it.
Okay, so hello everyone. If you don't know who you are, I'm Maria, and that's Megan.
If you don't know who you are.
If you don't know who you are, we can't help you. But we have been doing a podcast, which is now called Good Luck High Five. It used to be called Magic the Amateuring for more than 7 years, which is kind of wild. And we like our show to focus on people who like having a good time playing Magic. Like people just playing at home, people who playing kitchen table Magic, people just starting out on Arena or learning to play the game, and those looking to like improve their game at GPs or that kind of thing, and have that competitive spirit as well. We welcome anybody who wants to have a great time playing Magic, a happy, fun place to congregate. That's kind of the spirit of our show. And yeah, I also do coverage for Magic when there are tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, same. I do social media coverage of the Mythic Championships last year and the Pro Tours before that. And the podcast. And we're in Minnesota is where we're based out of. So
Is it still frozen in Minnesota?
No, it is.
It did snow the other day.
Yes, but it's like starting to be spring. Everything is melted.
Yeah.
We just got our shelter in place order today, which in a very Minnesotan way, they're phrasing as stay at home.
Yep.
It's like a
Yep.
friendlier. They're just like, oh, we don't want to scare you with spooky words. Just stay at home.
Yeah. Just stay at home.
Exactly.
We're really proud of all the work that Minnesotans have been doing, keeping themselves in their houses.
Yes.
We're doing good.
We've been doing an excellent job at
We're
it.
rule followers here in Minnesota.
We really are. We toe the line.
Yeah. Well, y'all are so used to staying indoors during the snowstorms.
That's true.
But on that note, I imagine it must be doubly difficult for you right now to see the weather warming up outside and for the weather to start turning. This is when, it's probably like 35 degrees outside. You guys are ready to throw on shorts and start going hiking.
Yes.
You might be joking, but that is 100%
That's actually 100% true.
I'm not
There
joking.
are times when I put on a t-shirt and it's 40 degrees outside. When spring comes around and there's no snow on the ground, there's no rules.
So true.
Except right
So
now.
true.
There's important rules right now. But
Yeah. So outside of creating content for Magic the Gathering and also doing a lot of stuff for Wizards of the Coast as well, do you two have day jobs or other gigs that you do, freelance work?
So Magic is our main job, whether it's our podcast, YouTube channel, or our work doing tournaments for Wizards of the Coast channel, Fireball, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But on the side, I also do freelance videography and editing. And in fact, that was my job before I came here to work in Magic. So thank goodness I had all the recording gear in my closet.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the stream starts, but your lighting is on point.
yes.
And if at any point during this broadcast, if chat, you're not really feeling the purple light anymore, don't you worry. Maria's got you covered.
You just tell me what color, chat, and I will change it.
We'll
Maria
make it
was,
work.
in fact, disparaging my lighting in a very Minnesotan way before this.
Yeah.
Of just like politely asking me if maybe I wanted to buy a light.
What can I say? Born and bred.
Yeah. Well, so since both of your jobs are so involved in Magic the Gathering, I'd love to hear a little bit about how things have changed in the last couple weeks as Events have started getting canceled. LGSs have started to kind of shut down across the country. What does that all look like for you now?
I mean, it's I'll start by saying it's really lovely to still be able to do podcasting from anywhere. While it is a challenge to not be in the same place, we usually record from a studio. It's a lot of fun to like go into the office and be able to record with both of us in there. And so switching to doing that digitally is like a little bumpy, and a little difficult, but still very lucky to be able to do it. It was a really rough day. Like the morning we woke up and Wizards of the Coast announced that they were canceling the next set of events through May.
Yeah.
To see like 2 months of work that you've been budgeting for, that you've been planning for, that are like part of your financial plan for the year is a really difficult way to wake up on any given morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was, I've told the story now, but I was trying to prepare myself mentally to accept the news because it was kind of like, you see the train coming down the tracks. But when you get the news that like so big of a chunk of your salary has just completely evaporated, you can't prepare yourself for that kind of news. You just can't.
Yeah.
My reaction was like laughing hysterically. It's like a card, it's like a TV version of when they're like, someone's really losing it over this bad piece of news, and they're like cackling, maniacally. That was me.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't understand.
Everyone deals with grief in different ways. I'm a little bit more of a Meghan than a Maria. I will just laugh in the face of death and say, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. Sure, we're going to do a stream from home, whatever it ends up being. And that's part of the reason why we wanted to create the show, is so that we're not just going to focus on those dark and doomed ideas of how the world is right now, because there's still a lot of bright, positive energy. There's still a lot of hope on the horizon, and I just think it's also really courageous of all of us to make these sacrifices for each other, because we're going to be saving millions of lives by all of us following the restrictions that scientists are releasing. Stay at home, stay away from people, wash your hands, be careful. It may not impact you, but there are a lot of other people that it could really seriously impact.
Yeah. And I said it on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it's so true. Maria is like the most social person I know. So if Maria is staying at home and not being social, like, you can do it. I know you can.
That's right. It's just me in here, just me and my 2 boys. They're
cats.
Not children,
They're
they're cats.
They are cats. They made an appearance earlier. We're crossing our fingers that they'll follow the script and appear at their bit later on. No promises.
I suppose I do have a robot friend with me named Stanley, but that's all I've got.
Yeah. Well, since you both are under a stay-at-home notice right now, what games are you playing? How are you helping pass the time?
Oh,
great question.
Great question. We've been playing a lot of Sagrada recently. Which it just came out on Steam, and it's like a beautiful interface. If you've never played the game in person, once this is all over, go out and get yourself a copy of the game in person, because it's also
so
very beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
By the way, this stream is not sponsored by Sagrada. We're just giving a little tap there.
Minnesotan company, though, I will say.
Floodgate Games.
Yep.
So obviously a lot of Magic.
Yeah.
I have played more Magic in the last week than I think I played in like the last 3 months combined.
Yeah, there's a lot of great ways to play now too, like you mentioned, Kevin. And I played in one of the super qualifiers on Magic Online, and that was Theros Beyond Death Sealed, and that was super, super fun. Just to play a competitive, a competitive tournament, which when you're in coverage, you do not get the opportunity to do a lot because you've got to make money to live.
You got to talk about it.
So you got to talk about it and you can't play. So that was really cool.
Nice.
I tried to do a puzzle. Turns out I hate puzzles.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm not on the puzzle train. Not on the puzzle train.
Everybody I knew was like doing puzzles and posting photos of them doing puzzles, and I was like, it must be great. I got out a puzzle that my friend had brought me. And I got like halfway through and I was like, why do we do this?
You do it so that when you're done, you can look at it and you're like, yep, that looks like
And
the
then-
I
box.
need to accomplish
Yes.
something in a game. I don't know.
The worst part is like I started it and like partway through I'm like, I'm not enjoying this experience, but I cannot stop until it's done.
Yeah.
Like I can't just put it back. I can't have that lack of completion in my life
Yeah,
right now.
it's a total completionist, like that gamer move. It's like when you're playing
Yes.
Witcher 3 and you got to explore every one of those unknown spots. You also got to
Exactly.
put every one of those jigsaws in the right spot.
This
One of
puzzle
my
is not going to win.
One of my favorite 2-player games is Seven Wonders Duel, and I play that app as well. So that's my other non-Magic game rec right now. I'm waiting for Wingspan to come out digitally any day now.
Yes, Wingspan is so good also.
Big
Yeah.
Wingspan fans.
Another beautiful game in person someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a pretty good segue because we are going to play a game together. I want to talk real quick about Dungeons and Dragons because it's my favorite game of all time. This is not the game we're
Yeah.
going to play today. I did not invite you all to this stream so that we could sit around for 3 hours arguing over whose wizard is the best. Because
Also,
mine.
I just like if you had, you wouldn't have told us about it. So it's just like a surprise D&D.
Surprise! We're playing D&D together.
Hope you got some dice. But that's another way, at least I know internally at Card Kingdom, a lot of us are trying to stay connected through this period of a lot of D&D games are getting set up. I just saw today one of my friends in the fulfillment center had set up a Google sheet of all the PlayStation games that he really been meaning to play, and he's like, I'm going to play through these and I want you all to play through them with me together. So let's like track it on this sheet and we can share how we're doing in progress. So, I'm really thankful that we live in today's day and age where we are so connected without having to be together, that we can share some of these experiences together.
Oh yeah, I was starting to get really nervous imagining that all of a sudden it was going to be 1985 and this would have happened.
Oh yeah.
And then I would have truly and legitimately lost my mind.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
We have just a little error. I'm going to get them back in and we'll be back in just a moment. Hello, we're back. Turns out when you leave a Zoom meeting open for a really long time, it will shut you down. So we are back up and running. This should get us definitely through the rest of the piece. Sorry for that brief intermission. I guess it teaches me I need to have some commercial breaks built in next time. But this is a perfect segue into a little game we're going to play. So I'd like to bring y'all over to Debate Watch. So, Debate Watch is a game that Card Kingdom designed as part of Local Game Show. It's a game show that we have streamed twice now. We've got another one hopefully coming up a little later this year. Can't really talk about the details because we don't know what tomorrow looks like, but man, I'm so excited to do more of these LGSs, and I have never been able to get Meghan and Maria on LGS yet. So, we figured now is the best chance for us to steal one of the games and work it into this. So how Debate Watch works is the three of us chose our favorite planeswalker that we want to argue for before the stream started. I chose Domri Raid.
I chose Tamio.
And I've got Karn, baby.
So in a moment, I'm going to reveal our debate topic. It is going to be some generalized topic that then each of us are going to have 60 seconds to argue why our planeswalker is the best answer to that topic. At the end of those 3 minutes, we're going to open it up to just kind of some general rebuttalry where we can object to each other's arguments and talk about why it's definitely not Karn. It's totally not Tamio. It was definitely
I'm
Domri
gonna
Raid.
get my notebook out. I have to take some notes.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Okay.
Right.
And at the end of that, we're going to let you, chat, decide who won this. There's no prizes other than bragging rights, which is honestly probably the best prize I could offer in this situation.
Absolutely.
So, now that we've chosen our planeswalkers, I am going to reveal the debate topic to all three of us and to the audience. We have no prior knowledge of this, other than I guess I do because I had to type all this into our streaming software. So I'm going to go first to give them a little bit of a leg up. So our debate topic today is, which planeswalker would be the best addition to your Animal Crossing island? So which planeswalker would be the best addition to your Animal
Wow, it would really
Crossing
help if I had
island?
ever played Animal Crossing for this question.
Same.
Okay, well, you guys have at least 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, to look on the
All
internet
right.
and read as many memes as possible. Also, now that chat knows this, they're probably going to give you a little bit of a leg up. So I also know nothing about Animal Crossing. It's actually.
I know.
don't
I feel
know
bad.
Animal
I have absolute zero interest in that game, but
Maria, you
everybody's
at least
playing it right
have
now.
a Switch. I have no opportunity to play Animal Crossing.
Well, after the show, you
True.
might want to pick it up because you might realize how awesome it would be to have Tamio in there. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the timer. I will go first, and then we'll decide which one of you is more ready, and we'll go to you. So, which planeswalker would be the best addition to my Animal Crossing island? Well, imagine you're asleep in bed on your Animal Crossing island. You wake up and you hear this sound in the distance. Is it the dodo plane? No. You look out the window, and across the sea, you see a giant boar galloping itself across the waters. And atop that boar is none other than Domri Raid. That's right. You've got your friend Domri Raid coming to live with you on the island. And he is the best planeswalker you can imagine for 3 reasons. First off, he's super good with animals, so he's going to be friends with all the other villagers. I mean, that's beyond a doubt. Second off, he loves giving out counters, which is really nice. Kind of build up those other animals so they can do their work a little bit more efficiently. And also, he loves giving haste, which is good because I'm going to need all those animals to really help me harvest the fruit on my island so I can send it to all my friends on other ones. And I'm running out of time. So the third reason, and the most important, is Tom Nook. Because you didn't ask for that house. He put you into debt. And guess what? Domri Raid, he's good at smashing one thing, and that's civilization. And that's why Domri Raid would be the best planeswalker to add to my Animal Crossing island.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Oh, hold on. Let me activate your timer and go ahead.
Okay, so I just have to say, I'm using some buzzwords that I read on the Wikipedia article. But what I gather is that this game is open-ended. You're just kind of wandering around, living your life, collecting items, learning how to do things like fishing and planting plants. And that's what Tamio's all about. She's just about gathering all that research and living her life with everybody who's living their lives and drawing some conclusions from that. So, like, what is truly more open-ended than Tamio's approach to the world, which is just a person who's journaling about it, you know? And I just have to say that it sounds like what this place needs is a collection of its history. So much is going on there. And we all know that Tamio is all about that library. So I say, get Tamio in there. We're going to have the history of Animal Crossing Village Place, and we're going to learn about all these things. Thank you.
I mean, that's a pretty good argument. I'm not gonna, say that's the best argument.
Nothing about the game.
But that was, I mean, as I play Animal Crossing, I wish I knew how to do more of this stuff, and I wish I knew you do discover some plants. So I think that's very appropriate.
So there you go.
All right. Last up for the final argument before we just attempt to rebut each other on a game that we clearly all know less than we thought we would. Maria, your timer has started.
Okay, tell me when it's up, but I don't need a lot of time because Karn is the obvious answer. Give me a break. Is there any situation in any town at any time in human history or animal history that you would not want a robot who can do anything living in your town? Hello, let me list off some things right now. Number 1, lifting. He's strong. He's a bot. He can build your house or whatever the heck you build in Animal Crossing. 2, time travel. You want to go back in time? Karn's there. You can play original Mario on the NES instead of Animal Crossing. That's a better game, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to start a fight. 3, he doesn't eat. No food. All you need to do is plug him in. And finally, sadness. He's a sad robot. And everybody in Animal Crossing is so happy all the time, I believe, that, every once in a while, you got to have a downer. Everyone's got to have their sad donkey. What was his name? Anyway, I'm talking about the
Eeyore.
Everyone's got to have it. Every town needs an Eeyore, and Karn will be that for you and make your life seem better by comparison. And in conclusion, I drew this picture of him so you can imagine what he would be like in your village.
Oh yeah, your time's up.
Maria, I have some really bad news about why Karn is sad. and it has to do with one of the first places that he created.
Well, before we get into rebuttals,
Oh, fair enough.
we got to start the timer. So, chat, we are going to leave this up to you as to which of those three planeswalkers is the best choice. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock where the three of us object and shout over each other. Only one person at a time will talk. However, somebody else can object and state their objection. The third person will be the judge in those cases and say whether that objection passes, in which case that person that objected will get the floor and be able to talk about why Domi Raid is so great. So we're going to start with Meghan, because Maria threw some shade at Animal Crossing, and we got a lot of fans in chat, so give you a moment.
I have a question though. Do we this is only 60 seconds for every objection and whatever.
Yeah, it is. So we're just gonna object really fast.
Maria, I can lay out my objections to your choice in 3.
Let's go.
All right, ready?
go.
And Meghan, when you're ready, I will start the timer off you.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Like I said, Maria, Karn is sad because he created a plane and because he was tainted by the glistening oil, like of the Phyrexians.
Objection.
That
Are we just
plane
gonna
had-
talk about Karn all day, or are we gonna talk about Tamio?
Okay, Tamio.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take that as an objection, because we're not going to talk about Tamio. We're going to talk about Domi Raid, because that boy, he knows how to ride boars.
Objection. Excuse me. Domi Raid is dead. Sorry.
That
Sorry.
passes.
Somebody
That
had
is
to tell you,
accurate.
Kevin.
That objection
tell you.
stands. That objection
Now I'm a
stands.
sad robot. Maria, the floor is yours.
Oh, well, anyway, yeah, Domi Raid is dead, so he obviously would be a bad addition to your Animal Crossing family unless you want a, I don't know, rotting zombie wandering around your town. But consider
Objection. Who
Karn.
doesn't want a rotting zombie walking around their town?
Objection. Who wants a rotting zombie when you could solve that zombie problem by putting it in the moon? Do you know what everybody needs?
That passes. All right. Yep. We'll
a
give
moon
you that one.
with stuff inside of it.
Ooh, like stuffed with peanut butter?
Yes, a peanut. Tamio can do that. Tamio can put an Eldrazi, help it put an Eldrazi in the moon. She can put peanut butter in the moon for sure.
Well,
If
the good
Karn
news
gets
is
peanut butter in his joints, he doesn't work anymore because he's a robot and he needs oil.
the good news is time is up.
Oh.
We don't have to share about the peanut butter moon. I mean, everyone knows the moon's made of peanut butter.
Yes.
So, chat, we're
I
going
was
to leave
thinking
it.
about
Stuffed with
Reese's
peanut
eggs,
butter,
really.
like one of those, like a pretzel that has peanut butter in the middle.
So, chat, I'm going to throw it out to you. Please type in the name of the planeswalker you think is the best out of the three we chose. A lot of you said Garrick earlier, which I agree, but that's a pretty dark island. Depending on when in Garrick's timeline you go for it. But please share with us who you think would be the best planeswalker out of Tamio, Domi Raid, or Monsieur Karn.
And then go vote online with the hashtag peanut butter moon.
It was
I
really
don't
sad
think that's
when
a real
Eldritch Moon,
hashtag, but it might be now.
Eldritch Moon really should have gone straight into Peanut Butter Moon, I've got to
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
Chat, we're going to give you another 30 seconds or here to throw in your votes. Taking into account some of the time delay. Somebody's ahead right now, and it's not Domi Raid.
Well, he's really less ahead and more under, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow. You just Card was never alive, technically. It's a robot, so
Whoa,
you can't
okay,
really...
hello.
Wow.
Do we need
Rebuttal.
to talk about the episode
Wow.
The Measure of a Man from Star Trek?
Wow.
Nope. We talked about this beforehand, Maria. We're not talking about any Star Trek till I'm caught up on Picard. None of that.
Okay. That episode's from like 1991, so you have time.
Yeah, that one I know. All right. Well, unfortunately for you, and doubly unfortunate for me, the winner is Tamio.
Yes. Everybody knows it. Like, as I was, to be fair, only reading through the Animal Crossing Wikipedia page, I was like, Tamio would totally
That's
thrive
very
here.
Tamio, though. That's appropriately Tamio. You were like,
Yeah.
oh, let's research this so I have a good answer. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Maria just insulted Animal Crossing. Did not work out in her favor. And I
I
just
know.
talked about killing Tom Nook, which I guess technically everyone likes Tom Nook now. He's a cute little raccoon
He's a
creature.
raccoon.
He is a raccoon. He's a nice guy. I actually don't hold anything against Tom Nook because my coworker Jordan shared. He doesn't charge you any interest, so that's actually pretty fair. of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a good
What a good
loan.
landlord. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice landlord.
Yeah. Lesser? I don't really know. All right. So That was a nice little break. I really appreciate some of these moments of levity where we can all laugh together and make some dumb jokes about peanut butter and robots. It's how we
Mhm.
as Magic players survive, I suppose. Um, but I wanted to kind of pivot it back to the conversation about content creators in general being impacted by COVID-19. I know a lot of content creators are still able to create content, but as you two have talked about, that's not necessarily your only gig. You've got a lot of stuff that's tied to some of these live events. Other content creators may produce stuff around some of those events as well, and so they're missing out on that revenue. So I want to talk a little bit about how can we as a community support you and support other content creators.
Well, for us, we luckily or not, I don't know. This all coincided with our Patreon pledge drive month, which is happening now in the month of March, and where we're giving everybody who signs up a cool good luck high five enamel pin.
Nice.
So that was cool. And so my answer is, for us, it is supporting us on Patreon, because that is a way we can measure, our fan base and how many people support us and how many people, get behind the content we're creating, and can start conversations like, what do you want us to do for you? How would we better benefit you as listeners? This kind of thing. So creating and cultivating that community is really important to us. And thankfully, for most content creators who use Patreon or other similar platforms, the entry fee to become a part of that community is usually very low, per month, $5 a month, whatever. So for me, that's our answer. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if that's not something you're financially able to do, like a lot of people are having hard times right now, I think word of mouth about what you love and why you love it is unmistakably the best way to help somebody's content that you love.
Yeah. I love that. Card Kingdom, we love a lot of content creators, you especially, and so we're always so happy to support y'all to help you keep creating that content. And so I definitely agree. If you love a content creator, whether it's Good Luck High Five or Command Zone or Kinji or any creator out there, yeah, Loading Ready Run, I could go all day and just talk about my favorite creators. But I started with Good Luck High Five.
You sponsor them, like seriously. We're so happy to be part of the Card Kingdom family because of all the great work that you do, and everybody who is in your family, as far as being sponsored by you, they're all excellent human beings.
Yeah.
So that's really,
but
it's great company.
For you out there, viewers, whether you're watching this on Twitch or if you're catching this on YouTube, one of the best ways you can support these creators, go to their Patreon, help support them, buy a sticker or a button off their web store if they have it, show them support. If you can't do that, share links to their content, talk about what you enjoy about it, because word of mouth really is the best way to help build those communities. But question for you, Megan and Maria. If I was Joe Schmo that just caught you for the first time today, and I was like, hey, that peanut butter robot and the peanut butter moon lady, I like them.
That's
I want
up
to watch
my
more
alley.
of their content.
All right.
Yeah, that checked all the boxes. The peanut butter box, the moon box, and the robot box, the most important boxes. What's the best way for them to get introduced to your community and your content? Like, is there a specific video or stream that they should check out first?
The great news is that if you enjoyed that peanut butter moon content, all of our stuff is it's very aesthetically similar to that, in that we really like to mix a lot of levity with our Magic content. And honestly, just starting with our most recent episodes is always a great place to begin, because it'll talk about what's going on currently in the Magic scene in any given format. We've been talking like a lot about Brawl lately. We've been talking about Historic because there's a new Historic anthology. So it's just like, it's a great place to get both the dose of humor and what's happening right now.
Yeah. Awesome. That is really wonderful. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the positive things that are coming out of the pandemic right now. We've talked a lot about the negative impact, how hard it is on businesses, whether they're, Card Kingdom or small businesses like yours. It's a lot of doom and gloom, but I think that there's a lot of really positivity that's coming out where we're seeing Magic and the greater community gather together in ways that we haven't seen in a long time. So I wonder if there's any stories that either one of you would be willing to share about, a community you're in or a story you've heard that is positive, that kind of shows us all coming together as human creatures.
Well, for me, I think it's really cool to see how this is sparking people to think outside of the box creatively. Meghan and I are improvisers here in Minneapolis, and we do a lot of shows, and losing that outlet has been really devastating for us, as well as for the theaters that we perform at that have had to shut down. So, you can't stop a performer from performing, though, right? And so there's been so many pop-up virtual improv shows happening. It has been really spectacular to see people like playing music on Instagram stories, this kind of thing, creating new characters and playing with them online. Just like having to create in different ways, I think has been really wonderful for me to see. Plus the support that has been getting is really, really invigorating, because sometimes as an artist, you worry that your art is going out into a void, or it's not being appreciated, or you're just doing it for yourself or whatever. But to see so many people coming together around each other to support the different ways people are making art, for me is one of my absolute favorite things. And Meghan is actually the director of an improv show, and we are going to do Entercat, and we're going to do some live streaming improv with Fall Play, which is an improvised Agatha Christie, as well as Comedy Sports Twin Cities, because Comedy Sports, we both belong to that as well here in town, which is short form improv. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and we actually, if you are also looking for, I think, a lot of people are looking for things that they can do at home, as you should be, stay at home. In addition to listening to podcasts and stuff like that, if you want to check out any of those shows, if you follow either Maria or I on Twitter, we'll make sure we're posting about them there, so you can check out some weird, experimental, fun improv shows. While you're stuck at home, between binging things on Netflix or doing a puzzle. Why are you doing a puzzle? I don't know.
Here's the thing. You can do a puzzle, and in the background, you can put on that improv show, and that will make that puzzle, I guarantee you, 1,000 more interesting, 1,000 times more interesting.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I also really love, anyone who has interacted with me much on the internet will know that I'm a huge proponent of local bookstores.
Yeah.
I love reading. I love books. I check out tons of things from the library, and I love shopping at all my local bookstores. And this is obviously a really hard time for them because they run on really slim margins.
Yeah.
But so many of them have stepped up with lots of cool ways. They'll do curbside delivery. They'll do local walking deliveries. There are ones like the Raven Bookshop, which was making sure they're now also in stay at home mode. But before that, they were they had shelves of free books outside so that people who were stuck at home and didn't have reading material and couldn't afford it could come by and get books, and a program where people could donate to pay for someone else to be able to have a book through them. So that's all of that sort of stuff is really, really great. And I love seeing all of the ways that people help get books into other people's hands, because I think that they're such a wonderful tool during a trying, isolating time.
Yeah. I mean, books help you to explore different worlds that may or may not exist. And, especially at times where we are locked indoors, not locked. My door is not locked.
Oh, I've locked myself in. I've locked myself in, Kevin.
I had someone else come by and lock my door from the outside.
Yeah.
They changed the locks. I'm in here for good. I don't know how I'm going to get out.
Barricade you inside. Having books and video games and podcasts and streams and D&D games and improv games that you can watch online. These are ways that we can help stay sane through this. We will survive. The human species is so resilient, and especially the Magic player community is incredibly resilient. I'm really excited for that day when we can gather around the table again and play some Magic together. We don't know how long it'll be, but it is out there. It's coming again. So let's focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And
that's, that's Good Luck High Five's motto pretty much right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
You want to be mad or sad while you're playing Magic? We're not for you. If you want to be happy, we are for you.
Nice. Well, with that, we're going to start wrapping things up. I want to thank both Meghan and Maria for joining us today. for sharing their stories. It's hard to kind of share this in a public platform, but I think it's important that we all, as Magic players, as community, don't buckle these things in. Don't barricade this and lock it into your heart. Share it with your friends. Share it with your community, with your family, with your coworkers, if you still are able to work. We're all in a lot of grief and a lot of pain right now as we adjust to this new world, and it's okay to be not okay. But on that note, it's really good to focus on the positive, talk about a lot of the great things that's going on in our community, and please share some of the stories in your life that are positive. Go on Twitter. You can use the hashtag #MagicIsGathering. Talk about some great stories that you've heard, or if something really wonderful happened in your own life with your own Magic community, or even outside of the Magic sphere, please share that with us. Or if you were impacted in a really hard way, share that story. Be brave and share that with the world. Use that hashtag. We will be inviting a number of creators on this show in the coming weeks. We're going to be streaming every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific until we're out of stories to tell, or this is all behind us. We're going to be inviting cosplayers, local game store owners, pro players, designers, artists. We really want to explore the wide diversity of creators that exist within Magic the Gathering and how they're surviving throughout this. But most of all, thank you so much for joining us today and watching us, or watching this on YouTube and taking some time out. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and watch out for your community. And thanks for watching. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
everybody.